Again, welcome. My name is Michele Di Paola. I come from Italy, a small town close to Monza, which is a not so small city close to Milan, which you should all know. Yeah, okay, that's the place. Um, I've been working with my organization called Spazio Giovani, which in Italian means something like make space for young people, since last century, I would say. And back in the time of Use in Action program, so if you're familiar with it, you can understand how old I am. Back then, we did the first experiments of using technologies in youth work without giving a name to this practice because there was no name for this practice at that time. Then I did my training of trainers, if you know about it. It's this training course by Salto. And if you're familiar with it, in the end, you are asked to design a training course as an outcome of to prove your learning. And me, together with two colleagues, designed a training course which was called Digitālais, which was about using technology in youth work. We're talking 2014, 2015. So a lot of time has passed already. The training course turned out to be kind of successful, so they asked us to reply it like 3 or 4 times more. And then COVID came, and all of a sudden, a lot of youth workers discovered that, youth work can happen online, can happen in digital environment, can be digital as well. And many times they had almost no clue about this strange animal called digital youth work. So my aim here with you is to try a little bit what could be digital youth work and try to discuss it a little bit. Of course, we have a very small amount of time, so it will for sure not be something very deep and specific. I want to, I don't know, give you some little provocation and food for thought, hopefully seeding something that may grow up in some new or some revised or some reinforced attitudes in your everyday tasks as youth workers, trainers, wherever you are. We don't even have time enough to do a proper, like, getting to know each other, to understand who's who in here. I'm sorry, but the time is really, really limited and we have a lot of stuff to discuss. So let's get straight to the point. Digital youth work. So as we said, it's been around since quite some time. The name digital youth work started to appear in European conferences and so on around 2016, more or less. From that moment on, you started having documents, outcomes in 2015, 16, 17, officially saying digital youth work. And then after a while, because we love to be complicated in our sector, digital youth work, and then smart youth work, which is another animal, all different. But still, it's a process which is ongoing and has been ongoing for quite some time. And it already got an official working definition by the European Commission. So I'm asking now, are you somehow familiar with this official definition of digital youth work? If you are, please, can you raise your hands? No hands. That's you are, because you were in the first workshop, so you know about it from before. But that's good. We will, of course, we will get them. We will get there in the end. So we have something officially stating what we are talking about. But we love non-formal education. We want to get there through practice and experience, and then read the books later. What I'm trying to underline here is that whatever digital youth work may be, is something that may happen in digital spaces and in physical spaces too. And of course, we went through a couple of years, more or less, in Italy, 2 years for sure, of being locked down. And of course, all the youth work activities were forced to be moved somehow online. And so many people who started to deal with digital youth work in that moment have this idea that digital youth work is doing youth work online. Not only, I would say. And since sooner or later, hopefully, we will start to get back to something called normal or new normal or whatever you want to call it, where people would meet and do something together, I'm one of the guys advocating for something related to digital youth work to stay. We learned a lot in these 2 years. Let's keep it and try to put into practice, even when we will be able to do proper activities, proper youth work all together, meeting each other and looking to each other's faces and not only boxes with names in a screen, which is nothing bad anyway, but it is what it is. That's what we could achieve. So it was very, very useful. Wow. So a couple of examples of things that I love to call digital youth work, which are two experiments that I made in the years, and I want to tell you briefly. The first one, I don't know if you can see it down there. It's an Instagram post with an onion, with a sign saying, recycle wastes. And the hashtag is #BrianTheOnion. If you go on Instagram and you look for #BrianTheOnion, you will find quite some pictures with these onions acting strangely in many, many different ways. These activities, we invented it for our training course that I told you, Digitālais. And basically it was like this. A group of people gets one situation randomly picked by some place, and you prepare the situation like working 9 to 5, party time, going on holiday, whatever. And they have a set of onions and something to embellish them. And they have to create that situation. Sorry, the hand comes for free when you have an Italian in the room. You have to create the situation and take a picture of the situation and post the picture on Instagram using #BrianTheOnion. Maybe in the next hours or days, go check Instagram for this hashtag. You will see a lot of pictures popping up. Some guy also contacted us to tell us that they were doing it in New Zealand. So, wow. What's the point of this? Doing something with your hands in a group, designing, creating together, and then making it digital, posting online, making it available to the general public. It's a step. It's a bridge that we build between the two worlds. Once this is online, we can start discussing what's in the picture with the young people who created it. And you know, transitional objects. It's easier to speak about an onion than it is to speak about yourself. So you can open up discussion about what is people watching this picture on Instagram actually get? Which will be the judgment about the onion? Are they entitled to judging from a picture? And you, what about you and your pictures? Which kind of effect can your picture have on people watching them? And suddenly you are discussing privacy, digital reputation, datification, social media harassment, blah, 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 blah. So a little bridge to get to serious things in a playful way. That's not formal education, guys. That's all it is. Nothing strange, nothing new. We're not inventing the wheel. That's our job. Designing activities, giving experience to learn something out of them. The other one, I presented it in the last International Tool Fair in Porto last week. It's happening inside the video game Minecraft. And again, it's a video game, yes. It's the source of potential learning and discussion about a lot of things, yes, too. So this is what I want to now experience with you. A few, 3, maybe 4 if we are very fast, little activities without looking for some great connection among them. The only connection being, I'm an Italian stranded in Riga for one night alone. I want to learn more about this place, so please let me learn about this city. And I'm trying to engage you in this activity using digital tools. And meanwhile, I'm asking already to reflect, is this digital youth work or not? And then in the end, we will have a little bit of open discussion about it using the microphone for you too. And we will see if and what, and to what extent this is questioning you or making you think about something new or so on and so on. Now, enough talking. Let's try. You know about these tools, no? QR codes. They've been around for 20 years, no, 20 years maybe, no, but 10 and more. And they were really not fashionable at all. And then COVID brought them back to maximum fame, and now everybody knows about QR code. Let's use them. I will not tell you anything more than sending you physically, in this time, a QR code. And please try to, whatever happens, try to keep it in 10 minutes. So 3:40, I will try to stop you and step forward. So, how's it going here? You're putting stuff on the map. Yes, thank you. Save my evening and night. Please give me good advices, huh? I'm trusting you a lot. More advice is coming from here. Look at the map, a lot of signs on it. Wow. Yeah, until 9 o'clock. And then back to the hotel. Okay. Are we done with this? Probably some more pins coming from the group below, down there. Done? Thank you. So, all right. We can go on. I have another couple of tasks, but time is running. So I want to open up a little bit of discussion with you now, meaning that you will have to use the microphone as well, not only me. Because now is the moment to answer to this question that I asked you to keep ongoing in the back of your mind. Is this digital youth work? Can this be used in your local context with your target groups, or be adapted somehow, matching some needs that you may have of dealing with the digital whatsoever that we all are trying to define and understand more? Is this it, or what is it? No, we don't have time for being shy, so please, let's get to it. And we have to do it a little bit old style, so you may want to show that you want to speak, and I'll give you the floor and the microphone together. Yes, Benita, you said, right? Yes. Here I'm coming.
I have to speak in this one, okay. Well, the thing is that there's so many choices to use the digital tools and how to use them. So, like, for example, Padlet, I know that there's such a thing, but I think mostly organizations or any institution mostly stick to the tools that they already know, and it's hard to integrate them if nobody shows them or like they don't even know about it. But for example, this is something new, and maybe we can integrate somehow in our youth work. But yeah, that's the thing. It's so many different choices for the digital tools, and you're like, you don't know which one to stick it. For example, it's better to stick with the Mentimeter or Kahoot. This is kind of the same thing, but as well, like which one is and how to use and what's the difference and how they can help improve their or work and so on. But yeah, I think that's what we also do as our youth workers. We mostly stick to the things that we already know, or like we are comfortable to use them.
Thank you so much. We need more voices. Please don't be shy. Yes.
So yeah, I would consider all these examples digital use work, but perhaps they are on a scale of being, let's say, quite minimum engaged digital use work up to, let's say, more engaged digital use work. For example, I think the first one is digital use work because we were creating content, the content being our picture and our group name. So I would say that digital use work is when you are creating content together, that you are reaching both goals. You are doing something together as a group and you are using digital means. Perhaps the least digital work, digital use work for me was the second one where we were sending the YouTube video to an email, because I would say it was on the scale of really minimal digital use work, because it was just kind of using the digital tool, but not creating digital content really. If we would film our own video, it would be different. That's my humble opinion.
That's very valuable because we're already introducing some possible scales and categories. So digital youth work is about creating content or not, we will see. We have an official definition we are soon going to watch. Or it's just sending out something using digital media, not proper digital youth work because it's just using. Huh? And then instead we want to be authoring, as they say, so creating. But then let's keep it going. More voices, please. Yes, coming. Yeah, you have to speak in the microphone.
I just started thinking that it's also important to keep kind of balance, because I feel like lately, so we've been in COVID for 2 years. A lot of youngsters are experiencing like digital overdose a little bit. So I think the healthy mix is to have like digital activity combined with like real life. And even then you have to kind of see how it works, because like very popular ones are like action bound and things like treasure hunts. But I've heard like good responses, bad responses, depending, because it's not easy to like be on the phone in a beautiful like forest and then you don't see anything of the beautiful forest because you have to follow the clues on the phone. So there's always kind of, I need to find a nice balance so that the reality doesn't take away from the digital work and the digital stuff doesn't, kind of disturb your reality experience, and something like that.
Thank you. My provocative answer, I'm a well-known provocateur, and I'm here for that reason. So from your word, I'm getting that reality is something and digital is something different. So we can add another question: is that so or not? But it's up to you to speak. So here's the microphone, please. Yes.
I think that reality and digital reality is almost the same, because in digital youth work you can take like reality in your pocket, because like if you have when youngsters have a smartphone or computer, you can gain access to like possibilities on the go actually. So I think digital youth work like implements the classic youth work. It's like a bonus in your daily life.
I'm not giving any answers here, also because we hardly have such things, but I'm really willing you to give us your opinion. So please don't feel shy. Yes, I'm coming.
I think reality and digital reality, they can be the same, but at the same time it's opportunity for youth to feel that they can be different in this digital reality. For example, if they are participating in some kind of online game tournament, they can choose some role, so it's like opportunity to be a bit different maybe. And I don't know if it's good or bad, probably depending on the situation. Maybe somebody wants to escape their reality, but I think it can be both, the same and not the same.
Yeah, so we are adding yet another topic to the huge debate ongoing still right now about this big label of digital youth work, and this one is escapism. That's how they say. So is digital a way to run away from something, or is a place to enjoy something, maybe putting something less enjoyable between brackets for a while, or both? Again, I'm not giving answers, but still, this is part of the debate. So these are the questions that we should keep always in our mind while planning, design, thinking about activities which deal with digital whatsoever. Do we have more voices? Because I'm curious. Do we? It's not that I'm putting pressure on you, but yes, I do. So, if not, I just want to show you a couple of things here. Since we were playing with maps before, one of these. One is this one. Okay. I don't know if you are familiar with this thing. Use it maps. This is a European and more than European now circuit of user-generated content in forms of map of cities, made normally by young people, made normally out of local young people project, youth work project, where young people create a map of the city according to their point of view. Which are the coolest places to go, where you want to hang out with friends, where you can find spots to do sports, or blah 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 blah. This has been happening for years already on paper. Using a map as the one we used on Padlet could be a huge backup system for creating, I don't know, a use it map of Riga if it's not here. I don't think so. I don't see it on the map yet. For instance, so I'm giving you a project for free. Yeah. And also, we were mentioning before, what if the videos would be actually done by young people themselves? Of course. Yes, all what I did to give you the tasks could be an outcome of other activities done together with young people. And notice that I only used free platforms and tools, even if another mind-blowing topics. When we talk about free platforms online, the right question to ask ourselves would be, since I'm not paying with money, with what else I'm paying this service? And we kind of know the answer: personal data, tracking, and so on. Young people mostly don't. Go check and ask to your target groups, how comes that all social media are free? Who's paying for the servers? Are not paying themselves, no? You'll get the most incredible answers ever. The state is paying for that. Phone companies are paying for that. When you tell them, no, you are paying for that because you are being exploited and all your data and behaviors are being tracked and created as a statistical material to assess general behaviors, they are like, really? No clue, no clue. So, little example of what can be done with digital tools to reinforce things which were there already. But now it's time to show also this publication here. Developing digital youth work is the outcome of a work group set up by the European Commission from 2016 to 2018. And it's a little booklet, and it's the first official publication by the European Commission about digital youth work. It also has an attachment, this one, which contains examples of activities, training courses, projects that already have happened and could show in practice how digital youth work could look like. It's for free, of course. You can download it from the Commission website. And in the very first pages, it has, ta-da, the official definition, even though a working one, of what is digital youth work. Official definition after 2018. So as everything in this field probably is kind of old already. But still, this is the only piece of official definition still working that we have. A lot of documents are now coming out of projects connecting different national agencies on this very topic after the new Erasmus Plus put digital youth work as a priority. So I guess in a year or two, we will have huge updates in this kind of official statements. But for now, this is what we have. Digital youth work means proactively using or addressing digital media and technology in youth work. Using or addressing. Even talking about digital, it's already digital youth work. Digital youth work is not a youth work method. Can be included in any youth work setting. So it's not something that we want to pursue per se. It's something transversal. Digital youth work has the same goals as youth work in general. And using digital media and technology in youth work should always support these goals. So it's youth work we're talking about. And this is not changing. So remind what's youth work, remind what's your task and your duty and your job, and that's a cherry on top of it. But we're still doing youth work as we were. Digital youth work can happen in face-to-face situation. We really now had a little bit of appetizer of this. As well as in online environments. Think about what we did. All of these could be easily replyable in a Zoom call. All of this. Or in a mixture of these two. Digital media and technology can be used either as a tool, an activity, or a content. So yes, we are dealing with creating content, but not only. We are also dealing with exploring the tools just for the sake of it, or we are dealing with a simple activity, let's find a band and spread the word, but through digital means. Digital youth work is underpinned by the same ethics, values, and principles as youth work. And this is very dear and important to me, because young people may be the ones who have more knowledge, let's say, about technicalities. I heard before a cursed word, digital natives. There's no such thing as digital natives. We have digital consumers, a lot, and that's what kids are nowadays. Try ask them why, and their face become white, because they have no clue. And again, this is our task. They could be the ones being very quick to address something on the phone, and we should be the ones sitting beside and asking them, okay, now, why this is happening? Where is this coming from? Who is taking advantage of this? And these kind of questions. We, the adults, are the ones still able to ask the right questions. And we should always, always, always remember that role that we have. We are the one questioning. Maybe boring for that reason, but yes, it's part of the job, no? And on the other side, we have the incredible opportunity here to finally practice what we've been preaching for years and decades in youth work, so giving young people the role of protagonists. Because here they are protagonists, much more than us. So it's really time and space to acknowledge this. You want to set up an activity to build something inside the Minecraft world, they will tell you how. But then it's up to you to find how, the ground rules, what we build, how, with which purpose, which methodology we use to agree together to the plan, and so on. And there's where youth work happens. As if they were playing with Lego in your youth center. Again, no difference at all. We're still talking about youth work. There is a new part of the world, a new part of the reality. The opposite of real is not virtual. The opposite of real is unreal. And virtual is not unreal, it's super real. What happens there affects young people's lives and our lives as well. So it's not unreal at all. And we should always consider this as well. So this new part, this enlargement of the reality is probably a bit scary or anyway unknown and uncharted, so I can understand that for someone it's a bit difficult to even look what's happening there. This is where young people could be useful to engage, involve. They can be the guides, and we could be the ones taking pictures and asking, tell me about this, what's happening here? And this is really, really an interesting way to achieve youth work in digital spaces. But it's not my time to speak now, it's about you, so I'm shutting up. And we are still like 10 minutes to hear a little bit of impressions and ideas, and this turn on some little light in your mind, or did you have some ideas that now you want to go back in your local context and try and see what happens? Or was it totally crap and this guy should get back to Italy soon because I'm tired of hearing him speaking? Please tell me something. Silence is not good in television. Yes, please.
Yeah, I really like the idea with the Minecraft. It's I know that Minecraft is used in schools, but right now I think that I could give it a try in the youth work. Maybe give youngsters some tasks, maybe to build their ideal youth center. I don't know, but yeah, Minecraft is really good platform for creative things, also for youngsters.
Actually, during the hard lockdown, this was done already. Probably not in Minecraft exactly, but in Roblox, which is a kind of clone. I guess it was Estonia, where a group of young people rebuilt their own youth center block by block inside a virtual environment just to have a place to meet and do hangout there. So while we imagine things, things are happening already. And this is the incredible thing that we are experiencing in these times. So it's really nice to try to let our imagination run wild, because it's never wild enough. They will catch up eventually and quite quickly, normally. Ideas, please. Yes.
Well, I'm teaching Latvian to some guys from Germany and the UK, and they feel like foreigners in Latvia because their Latvian is not very good. So what I'm doing, and I'm very happy that you said, well, each digital media is and technology that you are using is digital youth work, because I'm not very technical, let's say it that way. So I'm using very simple things. But the good thing is, since I'm using a lot of home pages, and they have to go to home pages and find some rivers in Latvia, and they have to search some boats on the river and have to go and make their tours, and or they go to some furniture stores and they have to shop there and tell me what they have bought there. So since I'm using all these let's say home pages, but also the tools, they somehow feel much more better in Latvia, because they have the feeling that they know something. They know already the rivers, they know where they are. They already know some stores. And yeah, so I think it was very useful, and I think now I will start to use new tools to give them the feeling that Latvia, well, feel at home in Latvia, because they know Latvia much more better than before.
Thank you. Just to be the boring one always talking, Professor James Paul Gee from the University of Wisconsin in the USA wrote a book in 2004, I guess, which is a lot of years ago, called What Video Games Have to Teach Us About Learning and Literacy, something like that. And one of the studies in the book by the university is that young people in primary school, which have issues in learning how to read, get a huge boost if the exercise you give them to practice reading are actually the pages to explain tricks from how to solve video games, because there's a need. So these kind of things, using a need as a starting point to achieve something, is always working, and of course is working also in digital tools. And we have a set of wider possibilities opening up in this new part of the reality that we are now facing. There's much more work to do, but also much more interesting stuff to take up for working with. But again, I'm talking too much. You, please. I want to hear. Yes, I'm coming down there.
I think this thing that you said before, that all the digital world is something that actually youngsters can teach us, not the other way around. For a lot of times, it is a good way to motivate them and to encourage them. So maybe for me it's not the first thing that comes in mind that it actually can happen, but it's a good way to develop their leadership. So I think it's very important.
Yes, thank you. And make no mistake, they think they are expert, but there's a lot of people, a lot of things that they don't know. So again, we are the ones, we should stay there and ask questions. And simply asking questions, as I said, try to ask them how social media platforms get their money. And you will laugh for one day for the answer you get. Our role could be that one, questioning their pretended knowledge, because again, there's no such thing as digital natives. There's digital users, the digital consumers, they're much more into it, so also younger, so quicker learning. But it's up to us to be the ones really being there and asking the questions. Yes, yes, I'm coming.
I have a question for you. Can you name any like great examples for like not like kind of virtual reality, like inclusion into youth work, and like augmented reality as well, maybe from your experience? Because that's kind of a new thing in Latvia. I think I haven't like heard of any like great yet.
Yeah, not only in Latvia, and they are telling us that we have to quit. So this is my last answer. Augmented reality is the new thing, meaning that you are actually in the environment, but with something connecting you to some digital space, normally headset, glasses or something. It's so new that really there aren't so many experiments even in our field. But for instance, during the tool fair, Salto Participation had a stand and they were demonstrating a headset with some augmented reality created by them to promote youth participation in an environment which was kind of fictional, of course, recreated in a virtual space. So it is coming. The point is that developing this kind of solution is still quite expensive. And of course, our field is not well renowned for being the richest one. And so for that reason, also, we are normally a bit behind the development of new technologies. One thing which again is very much debated is, should we join or anyway build partnership with the tech brands? For some reasons, yes, we should. For other reasons, maybe it's not so good. Most of them are not even in Europe based, so it's kind of complicated to reach out. But still, again, this is part of the debate that we should all keep in mind. And I'm afraid that's all, because you are needed outside. But let me just do this to share one last bit of information, which is how to get in touch. Please do. Feel really free to visit the website where there are many articles. That's my blog about this topic. Write emails, find me on social media, whatever. Please, let's keep this conversation ongoing, because this is what we need. Places and spaces where we can just freely discuss and ask questions to each other about how to do this, because it's really new for everybody. I guess this could be the right closing sentence. So thank you again for being here, and see you.